Hello folks and welcome to another InkDependence.com brief video review. This time we have Faber Castell's Moss Green. These samples were sent to me by the fantastic folks at Anderson Pen Company. Go ahead and check them out, andersonpens.net. This review is done on the Rhodium number 14 dot pad I've been using. I kind of like this smaller format. It makes me not write quite as much. I don't know. Let me know how you think about this smaller paper. I can totally go back to the dot pad if people want it. So this is a really good ink that I enjoyed for quite a while in this Faber Castell Basic that I've been using. It's nice to use a brand in their own pen. That's kind of fun. I don't do that all the time. In fact, even most of the time. But this is a great medium nib. It's kind of wet. I like that a lot. And this ink actually behaves super well on that pen, of course. No bleed, no feather, no spread, not even on 20-pound copy paper from Staples. It's my sort of go-to average paper. Although having been grading some of my students' work lately, man, there is some terrible copy paper out there. Anyway, this 20-pound stuff, pretty standard. And no bleed, feather, spread, great stuff. There is some shading with this ink, but no sheen. Well, actually, as I take a look at it, a little bit. Actually, I did the same thing here. When I did the smear, I can see some, let me see if I can focus on just this little bit here. You can see it sort of red in this area where the ink is very heavy. Get closer to the light. I don't know. Don't count on this ink for sheen. There might be a little bit if you're using a super wet nib or something like that, but not a whole lot. And it is a dark green. You could probably use this in just about any setting, which is nice. You can see here it almost looks black in the darker parts. I think you could probably get away with it unless you're in like a really bright light. When you get a bunch of it on the page, or if you're using a nib that's pretty dry, you might actually get a much more green color. But I got this super dark, sort of foresty green. I really like it a lot. You can see it here next to Caran d'Ache's Delicate Green, which I'll have up in a little while. My pictures of that ink, for some reason, didn't come out well. I'll have to retake them. But Moss Green, I feel like, is totally usable. This Delicate Green, not so much. It's way too delicate for my general use. It's not dark enough. It's actually way darker when it dries than when you're writing with it. When you're writing with it, it's super light. Moss Green, on the other hand, is just really good. You can see the sort of shading just here in this little scribble, which is really nice. I do like to see some shade in a scribble, that's why I do them. Next to Hazelnut and Sky High and some other stuff, I didn't have any other greens loaded up. In fact, I don't think I do even now. Those are the only two I had at the moment. Alright, so let's see how this sucker behaves with water. So far, it's a top-notch ink. I really like this, this stuff. Oh, here we go. Yeah, not particularly water resistant, as you can already tell. Which is alright, not every ink has to be water resistant. Although some of the Faber Castell stuff has been. But this one doesn't look like it's going to be in that category. Let's see, where's a nice clean place in my blotting paper here. Alright, here we go. Blot that away. And a lot of smearing, a lot of it came up, but actually a fair amount remains on the paper, which is kind of nice. Yeah, quite a bit there. It hasn't really gone, so that's kind of good. I mean, it's going to make a mess. This is how much ink came off just on this, so if you happen to spill a glass of water on a page of this ink, it's not going to go well for you. There'll be ink everywhere. Here's the chromatography that I did for it, just for funsies. You can see most of it kind of stayed down in this area, which is kind of heavy. Usually you get more up the page, and I'm pretty consistent with how I do these, so it's kind of surprising to me. But you see sort of a dark band down here at the bottom. I think that's probably what's sticking around mostly, and then you got the bright greens and the blue in the middle. Anyway, that's kind of pretty. Alright, there you go. This has been Faber Castell's Moss Green. This is InkDependence.com. I'm Mike. That's a Faber Castell Basic in carbon fiber. Peace out.